Hi, and welcome back to Cello from the Beginning. Well, we're going to be using our left hand today. We're going to play our first fingered notes. So we're going to find first position, and we're going to play all four fingers down in first position. Now, in order to talk about this, we have to talk about how the vocabulary of notes is in music. So we have, or the alphabet of notes really. In music, we have an alphabet that goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then repeats back to A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whether we're going up or we're going down. We have seven what are called diatonic notes. These would be the white keys of a piano. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So when I'm talking about the notes on the A string, you don't have to memorize this right now. We'll get to that. But the notes under my hand on the A string are A, first finger B, third finger, this is actually a C sharp. You don't need to know about sharps and flats right now. We can just call it C or C sharp, whichever one, but you don't have to worry about how that's different from C. A, B, C sharp, and then my fourth finger is D. But here's the thing, we already have a D on the cello that we've learned. We have our open D. So listen to these two Ds and see if you can tell in what way they're the same and in what way they're different. Hear it? So one is a higher version of the other. Our fourth finger on the A string is a higher version, we say a higher octave, of this D here. Each one of those 7 note sets, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whichever note you go to, constitutes one octave. Because we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th note repeats. It's an A again. So we have the same thing with D. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. High D, kind of middle D. There's actually a low D on here, way down here. But for our purposes, these are the two Ds we need. This is great because this is how we can tune our fourth finger to find first position, our first position on the cello. Let me play you an out of tune fourth finger and see if you can hear the difference. Do those notes sound the same? Probably not. What if I go here? Not the same. So I'm going to gradually move. Hear it? High D, low D. That is how we tune first position with the left hand. We use our fourth finger, which is playing a high version of the next open string. I can do this on the D string. If I put fourth finger down in first position on the D string, this is a G. D, E, F, G, which should sound like a high version of my open G string. I can do it on the C string. On the G string. G, A, B, C. Now on the C string I don't have anything to check with. But if I'm able to find it here, here, and here, then I'm able to find it here pretty comfortably. So this is a great thing that you can do. Practice hand away, hand on the cello, pressing down, all four fingers, and then see if you got the right position. All right, I was a little bit flat, a little bit low. There it is. I'll try it again. Right on the money that time, all right? I'm going to try it on the D string. Tiny bit high. Finally, on the G string, right on the money. So, fourth finger on any string is a higher version of the next open string. High D, open D. Higher G, open G, C, open C. I want you to practice finding that position, listening, making those adjustments until you're comfortably in tune. Now, you might have tapes on your fingerboard. This is very common for beginners, and it's perfectly fine. I use them with my students. Some students choose not to use them, especially if they have a background already on another instrument where they're good at hearing these relationships. But often beginners, especially young beginners, will use these tapes. That's fine. You can have them put on by any music teacher, or the store where you're renting or purchasing your instrument from should be able to do it. I like to use different colors, so I use a red tape for first finger, a blue tape for third finger, and a gold tape for fourth finger. Some people use all one color, some people use all black tapes where you can't see them very well when you're out in the public, but I find that those aren't as useful for beginners because the beginner needs that quick visual reference. But you can also challenge yourself and learn to do this by ear, because eventually you have to. Eventually these tapes are going to come off and you're going to be playing. As you can see, I'm not playing with tapes. Eventually you're going to be playing without tapes, and you have to be able to make those adjustments and find that position. So that's the first challenge, is finding fourth finger in first position. The next challenge is finding the other fingers, especially first finger, the first finger to fourth finger spread. That's where that tape can come in really handy, even if you just have a tape for first finger, because you can check that fourth finger. If you have a tape for first finger, then you have that visual reference and you know you've got the hand. There's a way to tune this as well, and we'll talk about it. But for now, just practice on putting some space on the fingers, opening the hand up, and finding this fourth finger and tuning it. Now, let's talk about the problems of pushing your fingers down and what can go wrong. So, if I am not getting good contact from my finger to the fingerboard, this note will not ring, it will thump. Let me show you the difference. Here's good contact. You can hear it ringing. Here it is without good contact. You hear that? It's a thump. It doesn't ring, it doesn't even speak to pitch. That means the string is not being pushed all the way against the fingerboard. This is a challenge, especially at the beginning, because our fourth finger is usually fairly weak. You'll notice I have all four fingers down. That gives me a lot of the work of getting the string down being done by my stronger fingers. Then my fourth finger just has to make this connection here, about an inch worth of string that has to be pushed down. So you want that nice ringing sound. Not. Same thing on the D string. Ringing, thumping, ringing. Now I'm going to go halfway between. I'm going to let it where it's speaking, but just not very well. Ringing a little bit, but there it's the real ring. You want that nice long ring where the main pitch continues. You hear that nice long decay of the note. So now that we've got that, let's practice a few plucking patterns just so you feel this. We're going to pluck 4 on the A string and then 4 open Ds. So 4 fourth fingers on the A, 4 open Ds. 1, 2, ready, go. 4, D. Let's do it again. 4, D. Right, let's try 2 and 2. 4, here's another thing that you might want to know. Do I have to keep this finger pressed down when I'm not playing that string anymore? So do I have to keep that fourth finger pressed down when I'm over here plucking the open D? The answer is no. You can relax that. It is fatiguing to keep all your fingers pushed down all the time, and our hand wears out. So I am releasing. I'm still touching, all my fingers are touching, I'm just not pushing down against the fingerboard while I play that open D. Squeeze, release. Now you don't want to release early, or it might kind of dampen, but as soon as I start plucking that next string, I can release. All right, let's try this. Fourth finger, all four fingers on the D string, so we get a high G, and then low G, 4 of each. 1, 2, ready, go. 4, G, D4, open G. Let's try 2 and 2. 4, open. 4, open. 4, open. Let's move over to the G string, all four fingers, giving us a C. Here we go. Ready, and 4, open C. 4, open C. Let's do 2 and 2. 4, C. 4, C. 4, C, 2 more, 4, C. All right, that's a great exercise to practice because we're getting the tuning, we're getting the pressure of what it takes to play each string to make it ring. We're getting steady beat plucking practice as well. Now here's the next one. This is actually going to be a little bit harder, although we're only going to be on one string. So let's start on the A string. We're going to play 4, open A. All right, there's technique here. How far am I taking my fingers away? So I'm playing 4 on the A, now I want to play the open A. I've got to let go. Here's what I don't want to do. Fingers flying out like this. We always keep our fingers hovering over the string. Not in contact, because if I need to play the open string, it can't be touching, but hovering, ready to drop. Ready to drop like little hammers, almost like the hammers in a piano, where they're above the string and bang, they go down and they hit that string. So we don't want anything strange to happen. We don't want our fingers to flatten out. We don't want the hand to straighten out this way. We don't want to come away like this. We especially don't want to come behind like this. We're here. I'm probably less than a centimeter above the string. Let's try it together. So on the A string, 4 fourth fingers, 4 open A's. 1, 2, ready, go. 4, A. Then we want to come right back to where we were. We don't want the fingers to move up or down the fingerboard. So I'm up, down. I'm off the string, I'm on the string. Off. What I mean by moving up and down the fingerboard is this. Let's move to the D string. I don't want, when I release, if I let go and I'm not careful, I might come back here or here. This is one of the reasons we have this thumb as an anchor. I'm letting go of the fingers, I'm not letting go of the thumb. The thumb stays in contact because it's my reference point. It gives me my position, keeps my hand in place. So I'm lifting the fingers, but not the thumb. The thumb holds me in place. Fourth finger on the D, open D, 4, open, open, 4, open, 4, open, 4, open. Okay, let's get ready to play the C. Here we go. 4, open, 4, open, 4, open, last set, 4, open. All right, that's great work. So you can practice that on your own, getting a good tone, good clear ringing sound, and staying in tune, keeping good finger position, good hand position, good steady beat plucking. Next up, we're going to add some of the other fingers. We'll see you next time.